Click on it. Right? Please don't make a mistake. Will be done in 10-15 minutes. Okay. So click on this. It's a Word document. I created separately a new exercise just to give more idea. So click on it, and this will open a Word document. Good. Can I count everyone is here so far? It's always at the bottom, all the way down. Last one, right? Good. This is only one forum we have, so we click on this one. Download, open it. Okay. So what this exercise is end-to-end exercise within few minutes, like not even take more than 10 minutes, and you will learn everything because you're doing from grassroots level, right? No pre-work, we'll do it together. Okay. First thing first, we are going to create EC2 instance using Terraform. Now, same exercise a little bit differently. We have installed already Terraform. Yes, sir. We already have CLI. We write a Terraform code using variables, and we're going to do that. So here, if you scroll down, we have already installed. So if you scroll down, we are here. Now, please understand, I'm going to use Git bash this time. Why am I using Git bash? Because majority of you will be using Linux environment. Hello, Sayed, are you with us? Right? I need speed, okay? Because we are like a tail end and don't want you to be left behind. Windows was an exercise. This is a bash exercise. So you will have idea. So let's start a Git bash. Git bash, right? In real life, you will have a Linux environment or SSH shell. So here you are doing Git bash. We're going to do all in front of you. The only mistake you will make is you're not following. And human nature, when I'm explaining, it's easy to not follow. That's why I'm giving you Word document. At least you follow. Please understand, you guys are smart. Within 5 minutes, you will do it. But if you don't pay attention, no matter who you are, you will make mistake. Okay. So we are in Git bash. We're going to create a directory, this one, and we'll go inside the directory. So EC2-Terraform. So let's create a. So we'll say mkdir EC2-Terraform. Okay. Create a directory, and you do cd EC2-Terraform, and you press enter, and then do pwd. So you know you're inside. Good. Now I need 3 files. So I'm going to create a 3 files. Please pay attention so you will understand. First file is a main.tf. I'm going to create. Second file is a variable.tf. Third file outputs.tf. And fourth file Terraform tf verse. So entire all file you will learn. We are using touch command. It means it will create empty files, but it will create a files for us. So you can just paste this whole command, Control C, and paste it here. Right click and paste. Control C, right click and paste. So it will create a 4 files for you. These are the only files you may experience in Terraform, and you will have opportunity to go over all files. Okay, press enter. So when you enter, it creates 0-byte files. It creates all files. So if you do dir, you will see all files are created. Very simple. Good. Now, in Linux, if you want to open the file, you are going to do vi main.tf, main.tf. Sorry, let me do my mistake. We have the variables, right? Variables.tf, variables.tf, and press enter. When you go inside, you will press I for insert, and you have, see, look at here. These are 3 variables we have, which you can see here: region, AMI, instance type, right? So we're going to copy this portion. We're going to copy, make sure you copy correctly, because otherwise it won't work properly. So we talk region, and because we did I'm going to right click and paste it. Right click and paste it. So far, so good. Reshma, give some acknowledgement because these are easy exercise. I'm just doing for warm up. The more complex exercise is coming, I just want to see how you're following, right? This is very simple exercise, right? Now do escape colon WQ. Escape colon WQ means write and quit. So you can do escape, right? Colon WQ. Right click, write and quit. Write and quit. So that one file is done. Now if we scroll down, we're going to create a main.tf similar way. So we'll say vi, please follow me, main.tf. vi main.tf. And once you go inside, you press I for insert. And you're going to copy only this portion, which is main. You can see on the screen, I highlighted with the green color, so you will not make mistake. But again, check carefully. I'm copying this portion. This one, you can really see that variables are used here. I hope you can understand that. Make sense, huh? So variables are used here. The file which we prepared before, now right click and paste it because you just got that file. Good. How do I save? Escape colon WQ. Escape colon WQ. So main.tf is ready. Before we took a break, I did mention to you, remember output. So now we're going to create file output. So we'll say vi outputs.tf, outputs.tf. Press enter. And here we can press I. So now read about what we are saying. We are saying, hey, you provide me output. This instance which you are going to create, get me public IP. Get me public IP. Now you say, what is this one? I'm confused. So you can carefully see this, you will understand. So here, this is the AWS instance, example, and public IP. This is you are interested in. So AWS it was key, then you read dot sub key, and you can say, show me public IP. So if you want to know like private IP, you can write private IP. Right? These informations, if you want how to read this information, you do need to refer HCL document, HashiCorp document. But right now, right click and paste. So what we are saying is, when you create the EC2, I also want to know, oh, my mistake, I did wrong, copy paste, sorry for that. Let me come out. Some reason I need to highlight and copy this portion, Control C. And right click and paste it. So I'm interested in displaying my output public.ip, which is nothing but my public IP address. Escape colon WQ. Make sense? So far, so good? Yes or no? Now, I'm going to run. So right now, if you look for dir, you can see all files are ready. Now we're going to run terraform.init. So let's do that. Terraform space init. So when you do that, of course, you know what is going to happen. It's going to initialize. Each directory initialization is separate. So you can have multiple directories for multiple projects. Are you guys understanding? This is like lifetime 6 command. How hard it's going to be, right? So initialization will initialize. So it's done. You can now run Terraform validate, just making sure that content on the screen is correct. Terraform spelling is incorrect. Terraform validate, so it will validate and it will give correct that everything looks good syntax wise. Your Wi-Fi. Very good, success. Now I'm going to do Terraform plan. It will check it. Oops, spelling is correct. Terraform plan, it will check and say, you know what, you are trying to do resource creation. Now everything looks good. Now I'm going to do Terraform apply. It will ask you yes. So we'll say yes, I want to create one resource. You can see that plan says you are going to add one resource. So add, change, and destroy. So here is going to add resource. This is a simple warm-up exercise how you can do all Terraform in less than 5 minutes end to end, right? Enter y yes, lowercase y yes, and press enter. Now it's creating, and after it creates, you will get the IP address, and that's what we want to show you, because we created outputs file, so we can print instance public. You can see right now. Give me thumbs up if you are able to see that. Because I put it outputs, remember outputs, so that's why it display that, hey, you created, this is the result. Make sense? Now if I want to print here like this one example, if I say Terraform, I can do output and I can write instance underscore IP. It will pick it up and it will get me the output instance IP. It will bring the same IP address. Do you guys agree? Make sense? So nice way you can create the instance, you can change it, you can destroy it. And the last thing we need to is destroy it. So you can say Terraform destroy. So this is the second exercise where you can do end to end in less than 10 minutes. This kind of repetition will give you idea like how this command works, what you need to do. But these are tiny exercises just to make a habit how to run the commands. The next exercise we are going to learn is a complex. So I have to take a little time, and I'm hoping it will work because it's always some new things comes up. I'll say yes, and it will destroy the. Good. Any questions with this simple exercise we did? Right? You all understood init, validate, plan, apply. What is the error?
Operating error at EC2 from instance, basically as a response error.
No, what is it? Means internet error. You may want to run again. Up arrow and run again. Maybe you can disconnect internet and connect internet. It might give you faster response. Sometimes you may have that issue. Good. Play around. Now, VM. Please follow along. So go to the forum and download this PDF file. This has a many steps. Okay, I need some help. So click on it. It will download the Word document and click on it. So it will open the Word document. This is brand new exercise, quite different, quite interesting. I hope you will enjoy. So I think we will be done in 40 minutes, but I need more support. Because sometimes, when I'm explaining, pay attention. Sometimes if you don't pay attention, I will still continue because this is long exercise. This is something you would do real life. So far, we were doing classroom exercise. Now we are going to do real life exercise. So I need help, everyone. Make sure you focus. You can do later if you are not having Azure account, but make sure you are in this Word document. Please attention, try not to do the last exercise and don't miss the opportunity here. Make sure you focus. Start a brand new exercise. Has nothing to do with the last exercise. So please don't miss this thing. This is a real exercise, okay? Ready? I need focus here, okay? Don't need to do anything. It has nothing to do with the last exercise. So what is this exercise about? First, understand the big picture. So most important thing is anyone who work in a real life, you will do this kind of exercise. Now I want to make sure you are clear. Please see on the screen. Extremely important that you understand concept because you need to draw in interview. Mistake people make is they know it, but they don't know how to explain. Because it's pretty hard to explain if you don't know the picture clear. Okay. Again, these are designed for you because I thought you guys are doing great. So this is one more extra exercise. So in this exercise, we are going to create a whole VPC. VPC in a real life, we call VNet. In Azure, we call VNet. Make sure you understand the concept. We're going to create a VNet. In that VNet, we're going to create a subnet. We create a subnet. In subnet, we are going to create in AWS, we call security group. Here we call network NSG, network security group. So it's kind of same concept. Inside that, we are going to create a VM, virtual machine. Now we have to allow SSH access. So we are going to allow SSH port. So we'll add a rule. We will, in Azure, you have to get the public IP. So you get a public IP and you need to associate the public IP. Make sense or not? So all kind of things is quite complex. So you have to create a VNet, subnet, you need to create a public IP, you need to associate the public IP. All those things take time. Now we are also SSH key we're gonna use, and that SSH key will create it through PowerShell and we'll plug it here. So if exercise complete, then I should be able to connect using SSH. If I can connect with using SSH, then that exercise complete. You saw that when we did AWS, we were not able to connect because we did not provide our key. This time we're gonna do that. What are the things required? For this exercise, you do need Terraform, which I think most of you have installed. You do need a Azure CLI, though we will do step by step. Then in this exercise, you do need a PowerShell. So good news, PowerShell come with Windows, and then we'll do step by step exercise. So now let's go to our Word document and we'll follow along, okay? So here we are this is our starting point. Prerequisite Terraform. So if you don't have, you can do control click and you can control click through, you can download and install, but we don't have a Azure CLI install. So I'm going to control click. So I can go to the website where I can download my Azure CLI. So you can see here, I'm here and install on Windows. I'm going to click on Windows. And if you scroll down, the one you need is, I think this will be fine. Click on Microsoft Installer. Click on Microsoft Installer. So when you click on Microsoft Installer, you have two installers. Download 32-bit. I found 64-bit has a problem. I don't know why. So let's download 32-bit. Are you guys with me? Always follow along, okay? If you don't pay attention, it's gonna be, you will not be able to complete, right? Basic things, do not spend too much time, right? Follow along. Let's see in the screen, Microsoft Installer. Scroll down and click on CLI 32-bit and click on it. It will start downloading, may take a minute, right? Once you download, just install it. So these are called no-brainer, right? Has nothing to do with DevOps, just following the instruction, right? How to install CLI, Azure CLI. So we're gonna click here and we'll start installing. So if I go here, it start installing. It takes a couple of minutes to install. So give yourself time, click on accept, right? And just follow installation. It may take a minute or two. While it is doing that, we can go back to our Word document because it may take a minute, right? Now, let's see what else we need. Now we need to go to Azure account. So let's go to Azure account, right? Before I go to Azure account, I'm going to delete my key from AWS. If you remember, we have created AWS key. I'm just going to delete that key. So if you remember, I created user, I am user. I'm going to delete that user because Terraform user, I don't want to keep the user ready. So I'll go to AWS console because anytime you create a key and if you are exposing, it's a good idea to delete because you don't want people to, misuse that. So if I go to user, when I created Terraform, This is for AWS. I'm going to remove this. I hope it will not allow, right? It says you have to deactivate. I know that. Right. I'm going to click here and deactivate. Security credentials, actions, deactivate. So I can do that. That's fine. Now, if you are login to Azure, just log into Azure. So I'm going to log into Azure site, Azure portal, Microsoft Azure portal, Microsoft Azure portal, and signing. Azure signing is a little difficult than the what you call AWS signing. Today is lucky day. I'm straight in. Otherwise, it asks phone number and PIN and phone number and PIN. But I am logged in with Azure. Okay. Meantime, your Azure CLI should have installed. Do you see that? So give me thumbs up if you are at Azure level and your CLI is going very well. Good. So as I said before, Azure CLI takes a little time. While it's time, I'm already logged in Azure, which is good sign. Let's go to Word document. So at this moment, check. We have hello, see on the screen. We have done Terraform. We are doing this and we logged in. Yes, sir. Now, when our Azure CLI is hello, when my Azure CLI is ready, I'm going to log in. And in order for login, I need to make sure my CLI is ready. So I think it's almost there. Within few seconds, it should be done. So right now, it seems like done. It's doing that. That's complete. CLI took a little longer than I thought, but that's fine. So we are at this moment here. We might get an error. So I also added some kind of precautionary in case if you get an error. These are a few steps you can do to resolve that in case you get an error. Again, depends on the situation. I found that I got an error when I had a 64-bit, but then I reinstalled 32-bit and error disappeared. Can we take one step forward before we do? Why don't you start a PowerShell? Hello. While we're waiting, we don't want to waste time. Everyone start a PowerShell. So just write a PowerShell here, PowerShell. Make sure you see on the screen, otherwise, what did you do? Like that, PowerShell. So start a Windows Power, just type Power and you will see PowerShell. So click here, PowerShell, right? So if you click on PowerShell, it will open a blue window. So you can kind of nicely see that PowerShell. So click on PowerShell. Good. Can I count everyone has a blue window PowerShell? Good. Now here, please understand, here we are going to create a key. We are going to create a key. So I think I have a command here. Please see on the screen. Hello, see on the screen. We are saying create a key. This is the command, create a key. We are using the algorithm type as RSA. We are using digital 4096-bit, which is very strong. We are using create a file. Please see on the screen. We are saying create a file. $environment means your default path. And we are saying key. So we are saying the file you create, there will be two files it will create. One is a private key, which will have name key. And one will be a public key, will have key.pub. Make sense? So this command, if it works, it should ask you paraphrase. You press enter, press enter, press enter. After 2 enters, it will create 2 keys. One is a private key and one is a public key. So let's copy this blue line. You don't have to change anything. So try not to be creative right now. Right? Just paste it here and press enter. It will ask you, are you sure you want to create a key? Press enter, right? So it's generating a key. It will prompt you in a few seconds. What is your paraphrase? Don't enter anything. Just press enter after a few seconds. It will ask you. and press enter and press enter, and congratulations, keys are created. Was it hard at all? Was it hard at all pressing 2 enters? Right? This command, it coming from your Word document. You didn't change at all. Make sense or no? And you have 2 keys. And in order for us to see that, just write dir key star. So you can see the keys which you just created. Give me thumbs up if you have key star. So you can see your private key and public key. Pretty good. I want you to pay attention because, as I said before, this is a real life lab, right? And unfortunately, you won't get this type of thing. So I created this for you separately. Okay. So key is created. I hope okay, it's done now. CLI is done. So now finish this thing. Now let's go to command prompt and write CMD. Start a command prompt CMD. And we are trying to log in AZ space login and press enter. AZ space login, press enter. Ideally, it should prompt username and password. So if you don't get an error, which is good, otherwise, if you get an error, you need to fix that error because 64-bit doesn't work properly. So I use 32-bit, so 90% should not be a problem. So right now it's a select account you want to log in, right? Yes or no? Now, because I have my own personal account, I'm going to click on work or school account, click on that and continue. No, sorry, not this one, my mistake. This one, Microsoft account, sorry for that, because this one has a domain, this one is good, email, phone, or Skype, and click on continue. Now use your account ID which you use in order to log into Azure. So I use my Gmail account, so I'm going to use that. Yes or no? So if you do that, it will ask you login. So here I'm logging. It might give you PIN and all. Next, because I use this in my desktop, so it naturally going to ask. And congratulations, seems like we are able to log in. At least I'm able to log in. Are you guys able to log in? Good. So right now you can see it's retrieving subscription, which I have 2 subscription. So no subscription found. It's going to cry. Why? Because you may not have this problem because I have 2 subscription. If you have 1 subscription, it will pick it up automatically. Yes or no? But for me, I have subscription. So you can see here, hello, it gives me hint that I should do this way, right? So how do I get that? So it gives me all hint here. Check it out. It says, you have this, default directory is this. So what I'm going to do, please see on the screen, the last thing you do, not pay attention and say, hi, I'm lost. The reason you're lost because the approach you selected. Every error will give you idea. So you can see here tenant. So I right click and I paste like that. Now tenant ID, it's a authentication failed against this tenant ID. Default directory invalid grant. Okay. Due to configuration change made by your administration or because you moved to new login, you must multi-factor authentications. Right. This one, trace ID is this, correlation is this. So let's see if I can try this ID. Okay. One more time. Press enter. It will again prompt me, but I have my ID here this time. This time it may not ask password. Hopefully it will take me in. This doesn't happen, but if you have multiple subscription, it does happen. So this may not be the same for you. So bear with me. If you are having this problem, you may need to go through the same journey as I'm going through. Of course.
You just copy pasted the tenant and
it's all screens, and that's why I'm saying pay attention on screen, otherwise you will be lost. And don't tell me that. The reason I'm telling, because these are important things, otherwise you will be struggling, making sure you understand what things to resolve. It gives you all hint. So based on the hint I'm following, I didn't do anything special. It gave me commands and all. So I'm just following that. It gave me command and it also gave me tenant ID. It seems like I'm able to log in. So now it's retrieving. See, it's completely gives all instructions. You just need to read and follow. That's why I'm always saying pay attention. This tenant ID was given to me, right? And the tenant ID, I use it, right? And after using tenant ID, I have 2 subscription. Now it is asking which one I need to make default. So I'm saying, no, this subscription I'm using is a paid version. So I'm going to use 1 because I have that paid version. So I'm going to type 1 and I'm going to press enter. Now your situation might be different. You might have only 1 subscription, but I need a credit card associated. So first one I have credit card associated. So I'm using that subscription.
There's no subscription.
Yeah, so seems like you did not have Azure account at all.
I did. It expired.
Not it doesn't expire subscription. Normally, yeah, when you create first time, it's always free. That's why it is. When you log in first time, it is always free.
That's why I'm doing it, because it's a free tier.
Yeah, free, it won't work. But you have to associate credit card because you're doing resource. So right now, I can see right now, it created, I added 1. Please see here, I added 1, so it's created this. So I want to see like what is my subscription connected and all. So there is a concept here, which is here. So let's go back to our forum. So please understand, we are able to log in, right? Now I'm going to run this command, Azure account show. So I'm going to see here. So please see here on the screen. And if I do that, Azure account show like that, it should show me my tenant ID and subscription ID properly, which I need to use. You can see that. So now it clearly shows that this is my ID. This is my ID, right? Which is, I will be using it. So if sometime it will ask which ID you are using, please understand when you are creating a resource, hello, see on the screen, guys, don't just do it. Understand, in AWS, it doesn't ask everything. It goes through CLI. In Azure, without subscription, nothing will happen. So if you don't have a paid subscription, most likely your lab will not work. So here you can see there is this one is my subscription ID 1. So here you can see this is a tenant ID, this is tenant ID, and this is my subscription ID. With this subscription ID in Azure, the way it works is account, subscription, resource group, and resource. Make sense? So if you don't have a paid subscription, you cannot do all those things. Certain things will be not permitted. So that's why you should need to add a credit card to make that permissions. Are we good so far? Okay. If you're not good, I would highly recommend to attach credit card. It won't cost you too much money, maybe $1, not even $1, 10 to 20 cents. I think you can spend that much, right? So right now I can see my subscription ID. Can I count everyone is good? Now the most important part, I think, is the file which we are going to create. So we can see this is my subscription ID, right? Your subscription ID will be different. So you need to know what changes you need to make. Yes, sir. Now, if I scroll down, we created key. I think this command, this is my profile. You will have your own profile, but you do have key, which is good. Now, if you scroll down, we have 2 keys, which we ran this command, and we see 2 keys, which is good. Yes or no? So keys are created. Now, the most important thing we are following here. So I'm going to create this 2 directory on a command prompt. So I'll normally copy this. I'll say Control-C here, and I go to command prompt, and I paste it here. So it will create a directory, make directory Terraform Azure VM, and then I go inside Terraform, enter. So you can see here, I created directory just like in my Word document. I created directory and I went inside, and you can see now I'm inside the directory. Good. So you just create a directory, go inside. Now let's go to Word document. Here we are going to create a main file. I want you to see a couple of things. These things will change. Hello, few minutes. Most of the things will work now if you're up to this level. So congratulations first. But there are few changes you need to make, which you have to make properly. So you know Terraform has a main.tf. So here I'm saying provider Azure. So we are doing Azure Resource Manager. Azure RM stands for Azure Resource Manager. Subscription ID. This is something you will use your own ID. Make sense or not? Next, this is the provider. If I scroll down, it will create a resource group. Everyone knows Azure, everything start with resource group. So it will create a resource group. Then inside resource group, hello, it's going to create a VNet. VNet is nothing but virtual private cloud. So it's kind of network. So here you are using this subnet in that. And then if you go here, we are creating subnet. So this is the VNet will create a network here. And inside network, you're going to create subnet. And the subnet will follow this pattern. Right? This is 16 pattern. This is 24 pattern. Right? And inside that, you're going to create EC2. Here you're going to create a firewall. Here you're going to create a rule. So those are the things here. So subnet. Now here we are creating network security group, and we are allowing security rule that hey, SSH is allowed, right? So SSH is allowed. If you go down, this whatever you did a security group, that security group we are associated with the subnet. So subnet and security group. So now only this protocol is allowed. So we are in this subnet, any request comes, these are allowed. Now we are using NIC card because in Azure, public IP is not by default. So we are creating a NIC card, and that's a NIC interface, right? And in that interface, we are adding IP, public IP. So we are adding public IP, right? Public IP and say Azure public IP ID. So that is this one. So I'm saying, hey, Azure, I need one public IP, and whatever IP you got, you can see this is a key dot sub key sub key and then ID. So that will assign your machine. So the way it works is machine is this. Machine has NIC card. NIC card has interface. An interface has public IP. That's what you're doing. So this is the machine. Machine has a NIC card. NIC card has a IP address. So they are associating. So here, this one will create IP address. This one will associate to NIC card, and then you associate NIC card to the machine. Okay? Now, if you scroll down, here is the VM. You can see here is the VM, the virtual thing, and in that you are saying username is Azure user. Azure user is the username, and you're associating interface. This interface is coming from the one which we just talked about. So if you read that, Azure network interface NIC ID. So this is this one. So if you read carefully, it is coming from here. Azure NIC ID. So you associated your IP address to this. And then you are saying that machine username is this, and the key is this one. In your case, your key will be same name, so you're fine. But if your key change, you have to change the key. Then you're saying this machine should have a hard disk. So hard disk type and all, again, I just made it easy, just like basic one. And I say no one should be able to log in with the password because we are disabling. They have to log in through key only. And then we are saying that once everything works, output, I want to see the public IP for that machine. So if machine works, I would like to see the public IP. Make sense? So the only change you need to make is a subscription ID. But before you make the subscription ID change, what I will do is I'll copy up to this. So you can highlight this thing, highlight this entire file. It's quite a lot big file. And up to this, yes, up to this. Provider Azure VM, right? Control C, highlight this thing, Control C. So first of all, make sure you highlight up to Azure VM. Then go to command prompt While you are in a directory, I'm going to use notepad main.tf. I'm going to say notepad main.tf. So notepad main.tf main.tf and press enter. Main.tf, press enter. If I ask you yes, no, just say yes and paste entire file. Paste entire file, whatever you copied. And one more time, go back here and change your subscription ID. And give me thumbs up if you are able to do so. Now, whatever the file, it looks like very complex, but I did like 6-7 times ChatGPT and created this file. So technically, because I know Azure very well, so I say, okay, I need this thing, I need this thing, I need this thing, and I created this recipe for you. It took me like maybe 10-15 minutes, but you have recipe. The only thing change required is right now subscription ID. Good. The last file, last line, make sure your last line is output, which will give you this thing. Good. At this moment, if everything is good, then save it. And this is the big part of this exercise, which you did it. So now we are good to go. So now let's go back to our Word document. And now we're going to do plan. Sorry, init, because we are not done yet, init. So now we're going to run the command, yellow color highlight command, Terraform init. Let's do that. Terraform init, it's going to take time. Same concept. It doesn't matter it's AWS or Azure. It's going to create a all setup. Good news, it's done. Then we'll do the same thing, plan, Terraform plan, and it should show that you are going to create you're going to create like a VNet, subnet, public IP, a lot of things you're creating. So it will tell a lot of plus.
You're not in the command PowerShell, right?
No, PowerShell is always blue color.
Oh.
Yeah. So PowerShell, only you create a key. I'm in a blank command prompt where we created directory and we created file main.tf. What the exercise which we are doing, right? That exercise normally it's a real life because you can see lot subnet, everything you do, right? So now it's done as a plan. So now I'm going to do apply. So when I apply, it should actually create it. I should at least create it. It may ask me to, do you really want to create? I'll say yes.
I got an error for plan.
What error you got?
Unable to build authorizer for resource manager API. Could not configure.
Yeah, you might have subscription ID. Did you change subscription ID? Because
Yeah, maybe it didn't save.
yeah, you may need to change subscription ID. That is the only reason you may have error. And make sure the content is properly copied, because this is normal error when your subscription ID is not correct, right?
Mine is stuck on Terraform plan.
It should not stuck.
Showing
It takes a little time. It's internet type of thing. It should not stuck. It may take a little bit time or internet. Maybe you press enter or rerun. Yeah. So right now you can say enter yes, and I'm going to do yes, and it should create it. It should not stop because plan normally doesn't do much. It just compare. So maybe you can run one more time. Right now it is creating this, and the way I would do is when it is creating, I'm logged in Azure console. So if I want to be careful, I can go to resource group, and I can see if the Terraform resource group is created. So you can see I'm going to resource group. And if I see that it's still not done, so it's not created yet. So I'm going to refresh it, see if there is a chance it shows up. Not yet. Not yet. Is it waiting for me to confirm? No, it's not waiting. So let's refresh one more time. Under resource group, yeah, I got it. So you can see here under resource group, under refresh, I can see Terraform. right? And if I click on that part, I can see the, what you call, I can see it will create a resources. It is creating all the resources which I mentioned, right? You can see one by one, it is creating a resources. If I click on resource visualizer, I can see like a graph, how we are doing that. You can see that it created everything. So you can see step by step under resource group, under this one, under resource analyzer, you can see that it created VNet, right? VNet to security group, and then NIC card, and then public IP. After a few seconds, it will create a VM. So you can see all the resources my, what you call, my script has created. You can see VM will be created shortly. Right? Still, it's, I think, going through. So it seems like it's, oops, not this one. This one, right? So seems like it did, and it's giving me IP address. So seems like it did that, right? So I want to know it's really done. So now if I go here, resource group one more time, if I go to resource group, and rather than going through analyzer, if I click on the overview for the resource, so I can see the VM is created. Do you see that? This VM is created, all those resources. You can see how many resources we created to Terraform. So if I click on this one, I can get overview and I can see IP address. That IP address is now on my console. I can see that IP address. So you can see here the public IP address, which you see here 4071, which is on my console. Make sense? Yes or no? Now, the last few topic points. So I ran successfully. I got that, and now I got the IP address. So now I can run command. I can see these informations, right? I can see all the detail. Now I can run this command, SSH space minus I. I means include this key, and then IP address which we got from the command. So I'm going to run this command. I highlighted the green and @ sign, highlighted green and @ sign. I paste it here. Oops, not that one. So let me highlight this thing. So I'm going to highlight this up to this one, Control C, and I paste it here, and then IP address this one, because I'm trying to connect from my local machine to that machine. So I'm trying to do SSH. While I'm trying to do SSH, I'm saying, take the key from my current location. So if I press enter, it's going to prompt me yes or no. I'll say yes. And if I do that, I will get a Linux prompt, means I'm successfully connected to my box. So you can see I'm connected. I'm connected to my box. Means complete. Last EC2 exercise when we were doing, we were not. But here I'm able to connect. And you can run all Linux commands. You are remotely connected. And if you want to come out, just do exit. So you can come out and connection is closed. You can see it step by step. There is nothing special happening. Step by step we are doing, and documentations are here. The only thing you need a paid subscription. If it is a paid subscription, things should work without any problem. And once you are successfully completed, don't forget to destroy. You can do destroy, otherwise it will charge you money. And I'm going to paste it. It's going to destroy. And after a few seconds, all your resources which you just created will be destroyed. Questions, concerns, doubt?
I'm still stuck on that Terraform plan.
I think
Not getting the plan.
no, it's the internet.
I think that's from being on the free trial.
Sorry, what is the problem?
I think that's from being on the free trial, because I just looked and I was on the free trial too. I was stuck on plan, but I think it's from the free trial.
I think it's, yeah. But many of you took Azure class, you didn't use subscription.
I added a billing subscription for
See, then you should have subscription, paid subscription, right?
Yeah,
No, you always use paid because you are getting into this thing, right? The exercise won't work, right? If it is not paid. But you got the idea. There's a working that. How long will it cost? It won't even cost $1. Trust me. This whole exercise less than 10 cents, huh? But you can see we created an entire thing. So now you can create a like scale sets. You can create a scale set. You can create replica. You can do a lot more things. And good news about it, if you have this thing, you paste it into ChatGPT and say, create a scale set, create a load balancer, create this thing, and ChatGPT will give you everything. And I would suggest, try it out with load balancer. Let's have distributed load, add like some kind of scale policy like CPU memory. So you can play around. That's all in real life. You continue like sometimes you will have load balancer, elastic load balancer, sometimes your network load balancer, sometimes your security groups are different. But the concept remains same. In real life, you may get a 40 hours to do this exercise, which we did in 40 minutes because we are ChatGPT. Good. So overall, Terraform has nothing specific. That's the only thing how to set up. Then you run init, you run apply, you run plan and apply. And last but not least, destroy. Okay, so now let's do a quiz. That's our last minute thing, making sure we are good with our concept. Practice Terraform, okay, because it's not hard at all and it's essential skill for your DevOps career path. So please do so. Now scroll down and let's see how much you remember for Terraform. I'm hoping you will do a good job. So here you go. Let's do it. So in Terraform, I have to reconnect or something. I'm not sure. Let's do this one. Okay. What's the correct answer here? Do you guys agree? Right? Very simple. Next one. Very good. Very good. Next one. You guys agree? Next one. Next week, we most likely be our last week because we'll be covering this part, monitoring. I'm going to cover 3 things next week, so don't miss the class. We will be covering about Helm chart, and Prometheus and Grafana. So that's a monitoring aspect. So next week will be monitoring aspect. Helm chart is also top of Kubernetes, Docker. So Helm chart is one step above what you call Kubernetes. Normally people use Helm chart and Terraform together. The Terraform is creating infrastructure. Helm chart is for deployment. And people use Azure DevOps with Helm chart. People use Azure DevOps with the Terraform. So there are 2 ways. So like if you want to create infrastructure, you have like pipeline Jenkins, Terraform, infrastructure, or Azure DevOps, Terraform, infrastructure. But when you want to deploy the application, Jenkins, Helm chart, or Kubernetes, and deploy the application. But first you do infrastructure, then you do deploy application. So same thing, Azure DevOps, Helm chart, application deployment. So you can connect Jenkins or you can do applications. They both are same. So Helm chart is one of the, I would say, secret sauce. It's hardly 30 minutes activity because there are only 3 commands. Up means deploy, up, down, and upgrade. So there are only 3 commands Helm chart has. But what is Helm chart and all I'll cover next week. But that is for application monitoring, because monitoring perspective, we use Prometheus. In a real life, there are 3-4 tools people use. Prometheus is free tool, so we can use that. I'll show you how to install and all. But there is another tool people use in industry called Datadog, which is very popular. Another thing people use called App Dynamics, that is also very popular. Another tool people use is called Dynatrace. It's very popular. They all work almost same way. But if you know Prometheus and Grafana, these are free software, then you can easily do this activity. Now, Datadog and all are paid version. So unfortunately, we cannot do in this classroom because it's a paid version. You need a license key and all. So good news, Prometheus does give you flavor. So you will understand how concept will work and I'll walk you through. So don't miss the next class. Monitoring will be there as well. Next one. So the correct. So the format command, how does it work format? So like example, just want to make sure, like example, I do this thing, just like this, right? This, and if I do format, then it will work nicely. So if I show you here, Terraform format, right? So it did format, and this is, I need to, should be updated. I think it did not update, but it did update. So if I go to file, open, right, and the location, but it should have formatted this thing. This is like a cache, but it does format. Okay, next one, Terraform configuration file, HCL, good. Next one, yep. Because if you did AWS, then it will interact with AWS. Very good. Next one, deploy is not the right one, right? Next one, there are three ways you can define variable. That you can't do it. That is created when you do deploy. Yes, right? Yes or no? This one is in line, this one, and this is possible, but this you can't do it. Okay. Next one. It's a hint, right? Right? Let's check it out. So if I do here, Terraform dash version, it will give you your version information. So that's correct. Next one. You are same laptop and you want to do
Workspace.
make sense? Next one. Yeah, so here you have like three environment, right? So in three environment, which one you are picking, right? So monitoring application purpose, deploying only Docker container container. So the automating infrastructure provisioning and management for that context. So the workspace, whatever workspace you select, that's become a context. Because at single point of time, you have to select which one is your default and you deploy there. So you are automating. What does Terraform show do? Let's do that. Terraform show. Let's see what it does. Terraform show. The state file is empty. There is no resources at this moment because we destroy it, right? So now
Current state or plan.
current state of plant Terraform managed infrastructure looks correct to me. So make sense? Next one.
Current state.
Keep which one? Keep track of resources to manage the current state. Yep. So there's a one thing called desired state. One is the current state. So current state is like example, you have three like example pod or anything, and if you say 2, then it will adjust accordingly. So it does not recreate everything. It's called incremental incremental deployment, and that's why Terraform is good. Next, and last but not least, Git. It does have a integrated support with Git and GitOps, so Terraform nicely works with GitOps and all, so you can use that. So technically speaking, if you search anywhere in a Terraform related interview question, you should be able to answer now. I would highly recommend to read a little bit about this forum, because in this forum, I have added that, and I added few videos also, so it will help you. But do the labs independently without any support, and use your credit card associated with your, what do you call, your account, so you won't have the problem, oh my God, I'm not able to do the lab. And the labs are step by step. You saw it works for me. I'm sure it will work for you as well. And that's all for today.